Hey Kelly, so how do we make money as nomads? Let's take a look, shall we? Gonna make all of this look like this. Taking it all back to its original form. I'm gonna take you outside with me. We just can't bear being in houses, you know, so. So yeah, as you can see, one of our jobs at the moment down south is sorting out a loft, getting some insulation, that spray foam stuff. The clients asked us, can we strip it off and sand it back to its original form? I think the contractors are going to come in and sort that out afterwards. But they were charging, or they were going to charge him like
silly money.
Yeah, absolutely silly money just to do what we're doing. So he called us and we came.
The great thing about us odd jobbing is we are very affordable because we don't require much money to live on. So the way we fared our business in the first place with the odd jobbing is to stay very much affordable for clients, especially as most of our clientele tend to be older generation. So I mean, your pensions only go so far, and often people struggle to find people to do those
smaller jobs,
yeah. Or difficult or arduous jobs that are affordable. So we fill that gap, you know. But it's a very delicate task, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, you would think that you could just get something and scrape this stuff off, but it doesn't work like that because you need to save the, what is it called that's behind?
I think it's like a felt membrane that goes over the eaves and over the apex of the roof.
So in order to preserve that at its best, we need to take it off by hand and then sand it back quite gently to make sure that we don't, you know, damage anything.
So we have had a couple of comments, how do we make money for bills and food and stuff like that? Well, full-time nomads, right?
Bills.
So, yeah, we don't have any bills. The only bill that we do have is our phones.
Top up.
Yeah, and they're on a pay and go. So even if we haven't got money or we need to keep that money for food, for extra food, then we just won't put credit on and we'll use Wi-Fi.
In times of tight budget, yeah. In times of when our budget starts to get a little bit tighter, yeah, we just rely on Wi-Fi, you know. It's easy to find Wi-Fi codes because when you have got money, attend these places like cafes, bars,
pubs,
libraries, all these different places, get the codes, and then you can literally just sit outside when you've got nothing at all, hook up, and there you are, you know.
Yeah. I mean, we've done things like tiling, haven't we? We've carpet laying.
Our jobbing is very vast of what we can cover.
I mean, I trained as horticulturalist years ago, so we also do garden
work. Which is very handy because it seems that most people want odd jobbers for gardening.
Well, we went to visit a client, an old client today, and he was saying to us that they've been trying to get a garden there for about 6 months now. And
the community around him have been saying, do you know of any gardeners? And unfortunately, his favourite gardeners disappeared on a travel. That is the nomadic way. But thankfully, our clients, because we've been honest with them from the outset, every client we have, we tell them exactly who we are, what we're about. So they're very aware that although we can offer them a very affordable service, we might not be able to do that long term on a regular because we're better off just coming in, bashing stuff out on a big time and then moving on.
You know, we wanted to go below radar, but
I think we were just a bit worried that if people found out the way we live, that they might tarnish us with a brush that we didn't really deserve because we're very committed to giving back as much as we can. You know, like, because we don't need much, what we can offer, we like doing good deeds. It makes us feel good. We're just one of those couples, I guess, right? We get a buzz out of helping other people. So to be able to give back like that, we wanted people to know and understand that the reason we put it this way, one of the things people would say to us, stop undervaluing yourself. And undervaluing ourselves is probably not the right way to put it, because we saw it as, we're not undervaluing ourselves or undercutting us. We are happy to take any tips you want to give. And trust me, some of them...
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
Some of the tips we got were insane.
Some of the tips, even when we first started out, they were like 190% tip.
Yeah, I mean, that's a lot.
We've done 5 hours work and we got 190% tip.
Yeah, for what we asked.
As well as for what we asked.
So, I mean, we can't grumble. A lot of time people, because we do have such an affordable rate, a lot of people feel that they want to give a little more, especially as they know how we live. And I think that they feel a little bit obliged, whatever. Then we also get our clients that are right on the now, because they can't afford to give anymore. And those are the ones that we really appreciate being able to give something back to.
Yeah, and we don't take the piss. We take it humbly, because, you know, if that's all you've got to give, then that's fine. That's fine. Sometimes, I remember that lady we worked for. She didn't have enough money. She did, and she went, "Can I cook you a meal instead?" Well, we were only going to buy our dinner with that money. Yeah. Or that food for that day, and she helped us out. So it was like
win-win. Yeah. Win-win. She wins because she didn't have to worry about going out of pocket. We win because we got the meal we were looking for.
It was a bloody nice meal as well.
It was.
Yeah, it was a spag bowl as well, so one of my favourites.
It's definitely one of his favourites. That's a winner. So why did we choose odd jobbing as a direction? Many reasons, really. There's a market, and there is a market for odd jobbing in smaller communities. Probably not cities, because cities and towns, very busy places and all that. But we find that when you get a village, there is a requirement for odd jobbers, because most villages struggle to find people that will do those small, arduous tasks for a small amount of money. Most people have actual businesses. So say, for example, some older dear would like all of her light bulbs changed, or some light bulbs changed, for example, in a property.
We have had one.
We have had that, and we've turned up and we've done just an hour. So we recognise that this lady, you know, she needed some help. So
her husband did not long died about a year beforehand, did he? And, it was quite a sad moment.
So we thought, well, you know, we'll cover that. There's no problem to us. You know, whether you give us an hour's work for £10 to change some light bulbs or pull a couple of weeds, it's fine for us, you know. Again, it's about hitting a market that is struggling. People need these services and they're struggling to find them, because everybody now wants the big pays, the big jobs, the ones that they can get a contract for.
And don't get me wrong, that's good, because that ensures stability throughout time, but
it's also good for us because it frees up a market for us.
Yeah, I mean, this client from today that we went to see, he can't get a gardener for love nor money.
Nope.
And they're charging to cut his hedge, right? I mean, it's a small hedge that that I can cut in about 10 minutes.
Yeah.
You'll probably see that video coming up anyway, but I can cut it in about 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And it's front, top, back. That's it. But they charged £180. That was the cheapest to do that, and so that's a 10-minute job for me, but £180.
Compared to what we would charge, which would be...
Well, it's £15 an hour now.
Yeah.
You know, isn't it? And that's a 10-minute job. And these other people, you've got your trades and that's brilliant, but this other firm, they were £300 to cut the hedge. I don't get that, but I can't grumble, because they called us back to do the job.
And we get to pick up the slack, really, where that's happening, you know?
Yeah. I mean, it's the same with that old lady as well. She, you know, you've got to have a qualification to change a light bulb in a workspace, in a workplace. But she's too old to be able to climb up the ladders. And don't get me wrong, they are dangerous.
That's how he broke his hip.
I was only 5 foot up as well.
5 foot ladder. And do you want to know the joke about this? I don't know if we'll use
it. Go on.
But do you know what the joke about this is? That this man, when we first started our business, was up how high was that tree?
It's about 40 foot.
About a 40-foot tree, and he was at the tippy top on the very fine branches, hanging on to the fattest one he could find, while sawing off the same one he was stood on, in the peeing down of rain. Nothing happened to him. I'm stood at the bottom, absolutely terrified.
You're terrified of heights anyway.
I was terrified on his behalf. But while he saw... And sure enough, the branch dropped. He just lowered himself to the next one and slid his way down this wet tree and carried on going and carried on going. I mean, all fine, nothing, no problems. He gets on a 5-foot ladder.
The minute health and safety came into it, I went and broke myself.
5-foot ladder. And in fact, it was so horrendous, the break, that when he went to the hospital, they didn't believe him.
No.
They thought he was either deficient in vitamins, which that was a joke, because when they'd done his vitamin test, they thought he was a pro athlete. So.
But the thing is, I mean, it was the story, wasn't it? They had already heard about me. This is the guy that falls off a ladder, breaks his hip, and phones 111.
I didn't know if I'd know 111 until I'd waited over an hour for the ambulance to turn up. Turns out he died. They got out the ambulance to get him in, and they're like, "Are you serious? A broken hip? You died 111. What is wrong with you?"
What I've done is, I'm sure we'll do a video on it maybe.
We'll share the details at some point, maybe.
I snapped my femoral head, and this part of the ball joint that moves your leg around, that had all shattered into like pizza pieces. So now I've got like a bar up here and then another bar into there.
Screws and
yeah. But it's one of those things, isn't it? You need the money.
It's sod's law as well. There was just a stupid little ladder situation that caused all that problem.
Yeah.
And it kicked us out of our lifestyle for 2-3 weeks.
2-3 weeks, yeah.
2 or 3 weeks. He weren't having any of it. I'll tell you what happened. A good friend of ours had allowed him to use his sofa, but I couldn't stay in the house. So he was forced to. I wasn't. I had to retire to the tent. I couldn't sleep in the house.
But we had £11. We had £11. So it was 2 or 3 weeks of scraping the absolute barrel, wasn't it?
No work. Because how can he work with a broken hip? I was trying to turn up and do the odd job here and there, but it was a small amount that I could do because he's the big guy, he's the one that's doing all the big jobs. So, so I'm just there really as his assistant. A bit of a weed whacker.
A weed whacker, yeah.
So,
the apprentice.
Yeah, the apprentice.
She is young, but she will learn.
I'll get told what to do and bossed about.
But no, I mean, so in regards to our bills, we don't have any apart from the phones.
And a food bill.
Food, yeah, supplementary.
Travel, maybe. We need some money for travel here and there.
Yeah, like the road trip video,
We'll either offer somebody some money for their fuel, or we'll use a train, or we'll use buses, coaches. Sometimes we walk, because do you know, we've had some of the best times when we've walked places, not because of the destination we're getting to, but the actual journey getting there. You've always got a story to tell at the end of that journey, always.
Yeah. But I mean, yeah, just so you know, if we go quiet, we're camping under some pines. I'll show you the video. We do know these pines, and a few years ago, one of them, there was 110-mile-an-hour winds, gusts, and we
were looking out as we were doing work in the kitchen, the tiling job.
Oh, the tiling job, yeah.
We were looking out of the window going, oh, maybe we should drop the tent just in case one of those trees snap and it don't destroy the tent. Mm-hmm. And just as we said it,
yeah,
snap.
this huge. But the wind moved it at least 15 foot, crashed it into their pond and everything.
Thankfully, it missed the tent.
But we are in our client's back garden. It's just we're on the doorstep. We can do the work. Now,
you could call this a perk of the job, being in a garden, but it's not a perk for us. We really don't like it. We don't like being in a garden. It's what's the word?
I'm depressed being in gardens, but that's just me.
There's a lot of unusual noises, neighbourhood noises, should we call them? There's neighbourhood noises that we're not used to, and we kind of really struggle with that. So sleep is a problem when we sleep in gardens. Can you see? we have been struggling with our sleep, but put it this way, it's inconvenient for our lifestyle, but it's quite convenient in that we can just hop out the tent, get on with the job, hop into the tent, go to sleep, hop out the tent. We ain't got to travel for work, right? We literally just roll out and in the door and up into the loft.
Yeah, over there.
That's it.
So yeah, over the coming weeks, we are here to smash out a big block of work. But we are going to be like foraging, revisiting old haunts of ours. We're probably
hopefully get some wildlife material as well, because we do find some. Well, we know some good spots to get some good wildlife footage. So fingers crossed we can get some spare time to do that.
Yeah, it is mushroom season as well.
Yeah.
So we'll go out and get some mushrooms.
Yeah.
Um,
And we know this area like the back of our hand for foraging.
Yeah.
So that's really awesome.
but yeah, if you're liking our content, please consider a thumbs up and
Or actually, on that note, if you have any ideas of more content you would like, because we're quite obliging, we're open people. If there's anything that you want to see, or if you have any suggestions, I don't know, curiosities,
leave a comment.
leave a comment, yeah, and we'll see what we can do to oblige that.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, otherwise, please subscribe.
Like, share.
Anyway, Callie, I hope this clears up some of your questions and inquisitiveness of the things that we do to earn money.
Hopefully you'll get a bit of variety over the next few coming weeks.
We'll try and do some of those sped up videos with a strimmer, shall we? Whatever, we'll just show you what we do and who we are. And
for another reason, because whilst we're travelling, if anybody online has anything that they're thinking, oh my God, I'd really like that done, can't get the workers.
if you're in the south of England,
How affordable are you? Again, get in touch. We've got an email, we've got our comments.
that's in the description, so yeah.
Get in touch and we'll give you the lowdown.
Happy hopping.
Happy hopping.